Hello, everyone. The book we're going to be talking about today is set in Detroit, Michigan, and that makes me happy because I was born and raised in Michigan. But it might not make me happy considering what this book is about and how really, really scary it is. Whew, it's a doozy, so let's give it a go. So the book we're going to be talking about today is Broken Monsters by Lauren Beukes. I believe it's Beukes. It might be Beukes, but I think it's Lauren Beukes. Anyway, as I said, the backdrop of this story is in Detroit, Michigan. And that's one thing I really love about this book. She just nails the atmosphere of current-day Detroit, even though I believe this book came out in 2014. But she nails the hopelessness that's there, the empty buildings, the rundown, seedy houses, and the basic atmosphere of poverty and all that kind of stuff. It serves as the background, as we have a lot of characters and a lot of moving parts to this book. And Detroit serves as a background for all of this to happen. And so I just wanted to say, first of all, that I might be a little prejudiced about this book, because there's not too many good horror books coming from my home state, and I think that's a shame. But anyway, it basically involves a really, really unique, twisted, and horrific serial killer type. But he's also possessed by a spirit, and he's using the human body, this human host, to try to bring a certain artistic vision into the real world, one that's of pain, one that's of suffering, and he's using a local artist to go about it. Now, let me tell you how the book starts out first, and you're going to know exactly what we're dealing with here. A body is found in a tunnel, in a dark, dank tunnel. The head and torso of a murdered African-American boy, and the bottom half of a deer. However, both of these parts are sewn together crudely to make it one organism. And on the wall of the tunnel, somebody has painted a door for some reason. And that's how the story starts out. So if you want to know what you're getting into with this book, that is going to be it. Now, the main detective on this case, her name is Gabriella. She has a teenage daughter, Layla. And she's divorced, but they have most of the time, a typical mother-daughter relationship. You know, sometimes it's just playful bickering, teenage rebellion against her overworked mother, who's a detective in the police department there in Detroit. But when this case comes to a head, everybody knows that they're dealing with something they had never dealt with before. And Gabriella kind of becomes obsessed with this case, trying to figure the ins and outs and, the whodunits and all that good stuff. To the point where she may be kind of ignoring her daughter, Layla, and everything her daughter's going through. So Layla hangs out with her friend Cass, and they get themselves in a lot of trouble because they like to play this game online where they try to call out child predators online, posing as other people. At one point in the book, this puts them in a very frightening and very tense-filled situation, unbeknownst to the mother, of course. But as the detective, Gabriella, she starts obsessing and searching for this killer, and more bodies like the one found in the tunnel start showing up in different places around town. There's also a man who says he despises those hipster types who are coming in and trying to reinvent Detroit into their own image with, art houses and coffee shops. But he finds himself actually being one of those men. He starts a YouTube channel. It starts gaining almost immediate success. He's making a lot of money from his posts. And it's all about this case. This case has him also kind of obsessed, but he's doing it basically for the money because it's kind of making him famous, and bringing in a lot of cash. And he goes out of his way to not thwart the police, but go around them for information, using the money he's making to pay people. He'll give them money for any relevant information about this killer or about things related to the case. And at one point, he has a conversation with Layla, Gabriella's daughter, and she thinks she's doing the right thing by going to her mother's computer and getting some, case information for him. But all of these things are going to come to a head at the end. All of these elements are going to meet in a way that's disturbing and very, very terrifying, set in an abandoned building in Detroit. And I'm not going to say too much about the ending because it's something you have to read for yourself. But this book is really, it's part detective, procedural, I think they call it. But it's really a horror book all the way through because there are very extreme, detailed scenes of what these bodies look like, some of the pain and suffering they must have felt when they were going through and when they were going through this. And the artist himself, the man who is possessed by this supernatural being, he was an artist in Detroit who fell out of favor with the art crowd. And now he's just possessed by this thing to, like I said, bring the vision of this creature into the real world. And the doors hold a significance at all the crime scenes. Painted pictures of doors. Because obviously this is where whatever evil lies beyond that veil is going to come through. And usually, if you know from reading horror books and watching horror movies, in order for that to happen, sacrifice needs to happen. So it's really a race against time as his ultimate art piece, his ultimate tableau is about to be revealed, which could bring about the end of the world. And in the meantime, Gabriella has to deal with her situation with Layla and Layla's friend, that little trouble they got in I was just talking about. And tensions start building up there as well, especially once Gabriella finds out that Layla has gone into her computer and told things to this YouTuber that she, Gabriella, does not like. She's spoken to him. He seems arrogant, he seems cocky, and he doesn't seem to understand that the police have their ways and that he's not to be involved in this in any way. But yet he persists, coming dangerously close to the point where in the end he's going to play a part in this thrilling, fast-paced ending that'll just blow you away when you read it. Like I said, I love this book because it is set in Detroit, and some real things that happened in Detroit are brought up in this book, like the mismanagement of the government there, and some of the racial profiling and crimes that have happened in Detroit. You know, once a titan of industry and the Motor City capital of the world, because of extreme derelict mismanagement and, you know, the collapse of the economy, it quickly just became almost a ghost town filled with empty buildings, overgrown yards, crime is, rampant, taking over the streets. And even though this author is from South Africa, she portrays Detroit as what we know if you grew up in Michigan. We understand this feeling that's there. And she also really nails and this is a great subtext of this book, how these younger people come in and they treat Detroit like a tourist destination because they want to see the crime. They want to see the edginess of the city. They want to see the real Detroit, with all the abandonment and hopelessness. And what they're trying to do is extract beauty through their artistic endeavors from this wreckage. But anybody who lives in Detroit or had to suffer through everything that's happened in that city will tell you, there's nothing beautiful about it. There's nothing to extract. This is just a result of people not caring about us. They let the city fall down around us while they took the money and ran, and now we have to live here. So that subtext running through about the city itself is something I really appreciated, and I know it's cliche to say, but the city was like another character. I know people say that a lot in different books and TV shows and movies, but in this case, it's absolutely true. I do think this story would have worked in any other city, but I think with the backdrop of Detroit, it really made it, at least to me, like I said, I might be prejudiced here, but it did make it feel much more horrific and much more violent and bleary in what happened there. But I really, really love this book, and I know it's from 2014, but I highly recommend it if you have not read it yet. It's full of thrills, it's full of action, and there are several scenes that are going to raise those goosebumps on your arms and make you want to close your eyes and not look at another page, but it's so good and so well written, and all these characters come together so well that you just have to keep on, even if you don't think you want to. It's a fantastic book. It really is. And you should definitely pick it up. I'll leave a link below if you want to purchase it on Amazon. I'll also leave my Twitter down below if you want to join me on there. And as always, thank you for taking a little bit of your time and spending it with me. I really appreciate you guys. Stay safe, and until we meet again, keep reading spooky, my friends.